Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. First carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Wide open receiver, complete. There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bulls. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
They'll run on first down. It's Manning. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's see what you got.
Allen going to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 10 yards. Good enough for a Buffalo first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Allen now on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Allen going to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Williams. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And now an introduction here to the starting 11 on offense.
Let's take a look at Willie Snead, wide receiver, undrafted coming into the league. He's the quintessential coach's son. Knows how to play the game so well and plays it with joy.
From the 39, Jackson has got his man. It's Andrews. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. Matt Ryan, an early touchdown pass in that one.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hicks. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. With touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Throwing is Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up the 1st down.
Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a give right side. Manning. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check it to a throw the next time.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Allen looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Open man right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And the touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? That's how you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. 50, 50.
Teammate Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. If you got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
In your face.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On first down, it's Manning. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, at these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 7, Allen, and this is incomplete.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Manning. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. And you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And again, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A well-executed safety blitz by Tony Jefferson leads to the sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
The Bills on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal. To the air, Allen. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while,
there he goes left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Allen off the play fake. And his throw is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37.
Hey, check. At the 37-yard line. Hey, Mike 20. Come on, D.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And there's that man again. It's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 36 yards on the play. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
Hey, hold. Hey, check. 3 down. Check 3.
They'll try to run this one in. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
I'm going to come back to you.
Here's Allen. For the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. Brings up 3rd down.
Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it.
He's coming.
A final shot before half for Allen. And he's going to go down. So they pass up the field goal attempt to go for 6, but as a result, they leave points on the field, and that's going to do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good work in that first half. More from you guys in a minute. But first, let's get to some scores right here on the day before Halloween. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium. The Jets in town to take on Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who are out in front. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Falcons.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Allen. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. From a yard out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Tight end left. Tight end left.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, Let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson, he'll buy some time right. And he's going to keep it here. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Jackson out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big 1st down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Jamal Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. A drive that time of 6 plays. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Check the out.
On 3rd down, Manning. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Give him 6 yards in the 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let him know.
And now they'll throw with Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On play action, Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now here come the Ravens. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10, just shy of the 30. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. He'll have a first down past the 40. The 40, 20, 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Jamal Williams, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens cut into that lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Pull it together. 52.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, Mike. Ready? 20. Blue there. Middle. Mike 20. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
On 1st down, Allen. Throw left side complete. It's Hicks. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards, the final tally. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up with a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Check.
From the gun, Allen fighting to stay upright. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Allen going to throw. Allen hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. He got it stripped. You can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
Here's Allen to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Bills send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
One set.
From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 44-yard line.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
Jackson on first down and incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense, it's going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On third down, Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. Gain of 9 that time on the scramble, 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up fourth.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Operating from the red zone now, Allen. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
Second and goal from the 1.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the right, tight end left. Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
And Allen is actually going to throw it here. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? So the shotgun snap to Allen. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on fourth and goal. Allen will look to throw for it on fourth. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Tim Williams. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Throwing again on second down. Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter.
We got 4.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. To throw again on second down, Jackson. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Let's go!
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on first and 10.
Single.
Jackson will throw again. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. One last shot for Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bills, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. I'm Brandon Gaudin.